Hello, boys and girls, and welcome back for another reading lesson with Miss Kim. I want you to press pause and make sure you bring your plants and animals in their habitats book. We're going to keep reading in this textbook. Last time we read pages 18, 19, and 20, and we've been learning about all the habitats that exist around the world. And one habitat that we specifically learned about was grasslands. Thank you for those who wrote all the facts that you learned about grassland and submitted in Seesaw. So what did we learn about grassland when we read the text Habitats Around the World? I have two students who submitted their work on Seesaw, and I want to show you an example of what they learned about grasslands. This student wrote 7 facts. Let's read what she wrote and what she learned about grassland. Fact 1, grassland is covered with grass. Yes, that's why it's called grassland. It's a land filled with grass. Second fact, grassland covers thousands of miles. Yes, that means grassland is huge. Fact 3, grassland only has few bushes and trees. Another fact, some grasslands are flat. Another fact is that only South Pole does not have one. I wonder why South Pole doesn't have grassland. That's something that you can do higher thinking on and challenge yourself. Grasslands are found all over the world. Last fact, grassland is one kind of habitat. Great job for this student finding 7 facts while reading the text. Let's see the next student, the student's work. This student found 8 facts. Let's read what he found. He found that grassland is a habitat. Yes. Animals live in nature. Yes. In every habitat, we know that there are different kinds of animals that live in habitats, plants and animals. Number 3, some animals live in grasslands and some don't. Number 4, there live dangerous animals. So he's saying that in grasslands that there might be some dangerous animals living there. I'm wondering what kind of animals live in grassland. So that's something that you can read the text again and look at the pictures to see what animals live in grassland. Number 6, number 5, grasslands have many animals. Number 6, many flowers and plants live there. Not only do animals live in grasslands, but also flowers and plants. Number 7, most grasslands are flat. Lastly, grasslands are big. Great job for the student for finding all the facts about grassland and submitting his work on Seesaw. It's not too late to do your work. Make sure you read the text, pages 18, 19, and 20. Find all the facts that you learned about grassland and submit your work on Seesaw. Today we're going to be reading a text about tundra. We're going to learn about this habitat. So what do you know about tundra so far? Just looking at this picture, we already can tell what kind of animals live in this habitat, what the temperature might be like, how the land is formed. We know we see ice, we see snow. So whenever we learn about a new habitat, these are the questions I want you to ask. So it helps you to know what kind of facts you can write. Question 1, what is the weather like? Hot or cold? We learned in our reading on Seesaw, desert habitat, we learned that during the daytime it's hot, but during the night it's cold. What kind of animals and plants live in this habitat? So when we looked at the picture of the tundra, we saw polar bears. So polar bears might live in this habitat. So this is very important to ask. Number 3, what do these animals and plants need to survive in this habitat? This is an important question because this is our essential question, our main idea, and our big question when we're reading the book. When, for example, in the grasslands, we learned that animals and plants need water. We need, so during a certain season, it rains, a rainy season. During the rainy season, they need rainwater to drink. So it's important that they have water. However, when they don't have water, we learn that they migrate, they move from the grasslands, and they try to find other places where they can find water to survive. Question 4, where is this habitat located on the map or in the world? We learned that grasslands are located all over the world. So these are questions we're going to ask when we're reading the text about tundra. So now I want you to open your textbook, your plants and animals in their habitats, and you're going to go on page 21. Now, when we're looking at the picture, we already know that in tundra, polar bears live in tundra. Let's read this information that they describe about polar bears. Polar bears have a thick layer of fat called blubber to keep them warm. They have thick fur too. Their paws are big and wide. That helps them walk on snow and ice. So we learned that polar bears were created, that their body was made to live in tundra. They have thick fur to keep them warm. Their paws are big and wide so that they can walk on snow and ice. Animals that do not have thick fur to keep them warm, or they don't have big and wide paws, can they survive in a habitat like tundra? Probably not. Let's read paragraph 1. Let's read the title. Welcome to the tundra. The tundra is a habitat that gets very cold. The world's tundras are all located near or at the North and South poles. Those are the 2 coldest places on Earth. So remember the questions that we are asking when we're reading? Already we answered the question 1. What is the weather like? Is it hot or cold? We know that it's very cold. The tundra is a habitat that gets very cold. So I'm going to highlight that. The tundra is a habitat that gets very cold. We answered the first question, what is the weather like? So this is a fact that you can write down on your notes. Make sure you grab a paper and pencil because you're going to submit your work on Seesaw. The world's tundras are all located near or at the North and South poles. Another question is, where is the habitat located? We know it's located at the North and South poles. It says located near or at the North and South poles. We answered the second question. So make sure you write this fact down. And North and South pole are the 2 coldest places on Earth. So that's something new that we learned. Or maybe you already knew that. Let's go on the next paragraph. The largest, I'm going to make it a little bigger so it's easier for you to see. The largest tundra is called the Arctic tundra. It is near the North Pole. The Arctic tundra covers nearly 14% of all land on Earth. The temperature can be as cold as negative 34 degrees Celsius, negative 29 degrees Fahrenheit in winter. The Arctic has a short summer. Temperatures can rise then to about 18 degrees Celsius, 64 degrees Fahrenheit. So there are different types of tundra, and the largest tundra is called the Arctic tundra, and we know that it's near the North Pole. We learned the temperature, which is as cold as negative 34 degrees Celsius. This is really cold. typically in California where we live, in Los Angeles, the weather is anywhere between 50 or 60 degree, or all the way to a little over 100. But they're saying this is below zero, negative. So that is extremely cold. And we also know that Arctic has a short summer. So, and it doesn't go that warm, only 18 degree. Remember, California or in Los Angeles is about 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, but they're saying that in the summer it's 18 degrees. So it's really cold there. Let's read the next. Let's go to the next page. We're going page 22. So turn to page 22. Let's read the last paragraph. In the winter, even the ground freezes. In the summer, the top layer of soil thaws out. Then plants and flowers grow. Polar bears, foxes, seals, and oxen all live on the Arctic tundra. Another question that we are asking ourselves is, how do seasons change in this habitat? So we know that in the winter, it's so cold that the ground turns ice. It's frozen. However, in the summer, it gets a little warmer, and so the soil starts to melt, and so you can have plants and flowers. You can start seeing plants and flowers growing. So we already learned how the seasons change from winter to summer. We also learned that plants and flowers live in this tundra. What kind of flower? We learned that in this picture, we learned that purple flowers live in tundra. And also we learned the different types of animals that live in this habitat. We learned that seals live in this habitat, foxes live in this habitat, and oxen live in this habitat. And this is a picture of what a tundra looks like right here. So there are many facts that we can write. I'll give you one example. So you can write, purple flowers live in tundra. Also, polar bears, foxes, seals, and oxen all live on the Arctic tundra. That's already two facts that you can write in your note. Make sure that you write as many facts that you learned about tundra and Arctic tundra, and then submit your work on Seesaw. Next time, guess which habitat we are going to be learning and focusing on. Let's see. We are going to be learning about, what do you think based on this picture? We're going to be learning about rainforests. So make sure you watch my next video lesson, and make sure you submit your work, two works. So one is make a list of things you learned about grasslands, and another list of things you learned about tundra or Arctic tundra. I'll see you next time, boys and girls. Bye.